Hello fans and friends across the universe and welcome to my YouTube channel, From Me to You. My name's Keir Smith, back today with the final instalment from this series of My Fab Four. I've been working my way through each of the Beatles 12 UK studio albums and choosing my four favourite songs from each of those albums, my Fab Four. And we're at the Beatles 12th and final UK studio album, Let It Be. Some of these picks have been difficult along the way, but not this one. I knew straight away what songs were going to make up my Fab Four from Let It Be. So without further ado, here they are. My first pick is going to be the album opener, Two of Us, which is another lovely McCartney melody. And immediately, I really like that gentle but bright opening motif played on the acoustic guitar. And Ringo's drumming sets the pace here for this light canter. And the casual tempo of the song seems to match the laid back and carefree lyrics perfectly. And of course, it's so nice to hear John and Paul singing together one more time. And Paul points out that you and I have memories longer than the road that stretches out ahead. It's such a pretty song, and I really like that whistling on the outro too. My second choice is going to be the spiritually inspired, the gorgeous piano ballad that is the title track, Let It Be. And this is such a glorious song. I've always thought that it's like a warm prayer for everyone in the world, with one of the most simple yet most profound choruses. I think this song is absolutely perfect in every way imaginable. The melody is strong, the lyrics are great, Paul sings it beautifully, and George's guitar solo here is fantastic, and I much prefer this than the single release. It's a song of hope and belief, and I've always found it completely inspiring. My third choice is Across the Universe, and this is another really gentle melody, beautifully played again on the acoustic guitar. It's instantly memorable, and I've said before that I don't think John ever did a bad vocal, and this is a particularly special one. And John's lyrics here are so great. Limitless, undying love that shines around me like a million suns. It calls me on and on across the universe. Brilliant. It's one of the best lyrics I've written, said John proudly in a 1970 interview. In fact, it could be the best, and it's hard to argue. This song absolutely changed my world, and for a long time it was my favourite John Lennon penned Beatles song. And full marks to Phil Spector for resurrecting this track, because the Beatles had never really known what to do with this. At one point it was going to be a single, then it was going to be part of an EP, and then it was given away to the Wildlife charity album. And I love the orchestration and the choir here. I think they add a lot to the song, and Across the Universe is a truly great Beatles song in my book. And last but not least is my favourite song from the Let It Be album, The Long and Winding Road. And much like the aforementioned title track, this for me is another perfect song. And of course, I know how the story goes that Paul didn't like what he considered to be the overblown orchestration and the female choir. And I can understand why some people might think that the arrangement and the orchestration is too much here because it's big. But again, I think it gives the song a lot, and it wraps around Paul's beautiful lyrics and vocal perfectly. And Paul's lyrics are wonderful. They're both tender and sincere. Many times I've been alone and many times I've cried. Anyway, you'll never know the many ways I've tried. It's dripping with emotion. And it's a real emotional high point for me at the end of the song when Paul sings, "Don't keep me waiting here, lead me to your door." And there's a flurry of orchestral instruments that gets turned up higher in the mix. And then the song finishes with that lush harp. It's breathtaking. It's so emotional and a top 10 Beatles song for me. So that was my Fab Four from the Beatles Let It Be album. We had Two of Us, the title track, Across the Universe, and The Long and Winding Road. I did spare a thought for I've Got a Feeling, which is a huge favourite of mine. A fantastic song, but it couldn't quite break through. And as always, I'd love to know what your Fab Four selections are, so please leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And I'd like to take this opportunity to say a big thank you to everybody who tuned into this series along the way. Thank you so much to everybody who left their Fab Four selections and their thoughtful comments. I really appreciate it. And I do hope that you've enjoyed this series, and of course I'll see you for my next video very soon. Until then, peace and love. Bye for now.